Well, in this computer-driven era, receiving junk mail has become an increasingly common everyday part of life. You think you get a lot? Well, consider an Appleton man who says he's bombarded with junk mail for his parents who never ever lived at his home. Fox 11 Investigates Robert Hornacek showing us why it's happening and what you can do to cut the clutter.
During your lifetime, you're going to spend 8 months opening up junk mail.
It is a real concern.
The record so far is 17 parcels in one day.
Ron Borkowitz was trying to do what any good son would do, take care of the bills for his aging parents. This is what he has to show for it.
This is just from the last 6 to 8 weeks.
Bag after bag filled with junk mail.
I have to go to the mailbox every day, and sometimes it's crammed where you have to use 2 hands to pull everything out.
It's all being delivered to his Appleton home, and it's addressed to his parents, Frank and Dorothy. There's just one problem. His parents never lived in Appleton. They lived 150 miles away in Eagle River. Last year, Frank passed away. Dorothy now lives in a long-term care facility.
And I had the post office forward all the mail to my house in Appleton here so that I could get all the bills, any tax notices or anything like that.
Borkowitz got the bills and a whole lot more.
And it was all third class, people looking for money, some nonprofit groups, some not. And I'd get 6 or 8 pieces a day each time. And it started growing. My wife and I were laughing on it. Came in with a lot of mail. She says, how much of that is ours? And we counted out there were 16 pieces and there were 2 of them for us.
Borkowitz kept track of the groups sending the mailers, all 134 of them. He wondered how so many organizations got the new address for his parents. How does something like that happen? Fox 11 Investigates contacted the U.S. Postal Service, but they would not do an on-camera interview. In an email, a USPS spokesman said the Postal Service does not sell or rent personal customer information to outside parties, including marketers. But the spokesman also says the change of address information is provided to mailers who are already in possession of the customer's name and old address when there's a valid change of address order on file that matches the name and the old address. Borkowitz says he did not expect that to happen.
I just thought it was really weak, though, of the post office.
They specifically say we do not sell lists. However, they do provide services that help ensure the accuracy of lists.
Frank Frassetto is the administrator of Wisconsin's Consumer Protection Agency.
When the U.S. Postal Service updates their list, because they want to make sure they have an accurate list, anytime the next direct marketing firm says, okay, we need to verify the accuracy of our list again, they're going to get that new address.
We showed Frassetto the situation Borkowitz is dealing with.
You got to be kidding me.
We also showed it to Pat Finder-Stone, an advocate for seniors with AARP.
Oh, I believe that, absolutely.
Finder-Stone says this is a pretty common issue today.
It's a very big problem.
She says some organizations are taking advantage of older adults.
Well, I think there is a certain amount of preying upon people. Yes, I do believe that. I think older people are more trusting. You know, we grew up in a society where, I mean, you trusted everyone, and it's not so these days.
The question is what can be done about it?
Once you're on a list, you're on a list for an awfully long time.
Borkowitz says he sent letters to each of the 134 companies 3 separate times, asking them to stop sending mailers.
Out of 134 different companies doing this, there were only 5 of them that responded to me, sent a nice letter, condolences, said they would stop it. It might be in a computer for another issue or 2, but they'll stop it, and they have. 2 of the people that contacted me offered their condolences, and then they offered, and they included a self-addressed envelope and someplace where I could still make a donation to their organization. It just doesn't stop.
Frassetto says a better way to handle the issue is to contact the Data Marketing Association, a group that represents nearly 3,600 companies. Frassetto says people can register online and significantly reduce the amount of junk mail they receive. He also recommends people visit optoutprescreen.com, a website run by the major credit agencies. He says there you can eliminate many of the financial solicitations for things like credit cards and insurance.
You can reduce the flow of junk mail, and you should take advantage of that as best you can.
Borkowitz says he's just ready for the junk mail to stop.
It gets really frustrating after a while.
Borkowitz says he's been receiving this unwanted mail for nearly a year, and he's finally noticing a decline in the amount of it he's receiving. He says he's also going to try the experts' advice to see if that solves the problem for good. For Fox 11 Investigates, I'm Robert Hornacek.
More on what you can do to reduce junk mail is available through a link in Robert's story on fox11online.com. A video has tips and links to try to get you off the list you don't want to be on as best as you can for good.